Well, we're excited to get back out on the field this next week. We definitely have had a good winter conditioning to this point. I think our guys have had plenty of time to refresh after the bowl game. They've had spring break off last week, and now it's about getting back on the field and trying to find ways to improve. We definitely have holes to fill from this year, and there's a lot of improvement we have to make, but that's what these next 5 weeks are for. And we've spread it out over 5 weeks once again because we want to continue to work hard in the weight room, gain strength, gain mass, gain size. I think last year one thing that helped us is from the end of the Bahama Bowl to the beginning of fall camp, among the 70 players we had returning, we had gained about 340 pounds. And that was good weight, and those are things we needed to do. So we want to continue to get stronger and better in the weight room as we're practicing, and that's why we spread out over 5 weeks, but we're ready to get things going.
What do you want to see out of your quarterbacks this spring?
Well, obviously that's the biggest hole to fill. You know, we've got a quarterback who had a tremendous career for us, and I think we have bodies there that are eager to get out there and prove themselves. I think they've all worked hard. It's going to be competitive. We're going to try to give each and every one an equal, fair shot at the job. I think that you know, they understand what they have to do, and we're going to do everything we can to give them as many reps, as many game-like reps as we can, to throw them into the fire as much as we can, so that they get a chance to prove what they can do. And obviously we'd like to get all of them ready just in case, but in the end you have to find a starter, and it's going to be important that we find the one guy we're comfortable with. But I think all 4 guys competing for the job have worked hard, and hopefully we'll give them a fair look, and somebody will stand out.
How healthy do you expect the competition just to be across the board? Obviously you're always competing with a lot of reps.
Well, I think they're all good guys. They understand what's at stake, and I'm sure it's going to get competitive at times, and each one of them wants the job as much as the other. But, you know, it's a situation where I think it'll be a healthy competition. I think that all 4 of them can do things for us. They all bring something to the table. They've all been in the offense to a certain degree, other than Tyler Ferguson, even though he's been in a form of it for a little while. But I think that you know, all 4 will compete. They all want to be in there. I think with the scrimmages we have and the game-like situations we have during practice throughout the spring, hopefully someone will emerge.
How's Allen looking as far as health-wise?
Well, Leon's worked extremely hard. Things maybe haven't gone exactly the way we wanted from the get-go, but I think he understands what he has to do to get back, and now it's just going to be a matter of finding a way to get there. It's hard for me to predict how that will end. Will it be as fast and as speedy as we would like? Probably not, but I think that he is starting to turn the corner a little bit, and it's going to be hard to tell. I think he's going to work hard, do everything he can. We're going to do everything we can to assist him, but he still has plenty of work to do.
Will he be active on Monday?
No, he will not be able to practice in spring. He's going to continue to rehab. I think by the end of spring, beginning of summer, we'll have an idea of maybe when he would be able to come back, but I think it's still too early to tell based on me talking to our trainer and our doctors.
Do you approach this spring any differently than the past 2, being 30?
Well, I think always we try to find ways to improve and get better. I think that this year it's going to be important that our defense continues to improve, which we made strides last year. We've got to fill some holes there also, and I think we did play a lot of guys last year, so we should have some experience coming back, and I feel like we got better, and it helped us be 12-2 instead of 8-5. Really, I don't think it was our offense playing any better as our defense stepped up and played well. I thought we made strides on special teams. I think with the addition of Coach Levine as our special teams coordinator, he's one of the best around. Hopefully we can find an edge in special teams that will help us win, but we're going to have to win a lot of different ways this year. I don't want to put it all in the quarterback's hands. I think that our defense, special teams, and running game are going to have to find ways to help us win.
Knowing the quarterbacks, are there any positions that stand out to you this spring that you really need to get a good look at before we compete?
Well, I feel good about our offensive line, where we're at there. We do have some young guys that after this next year are going to have to step up and be ready to play. So we're going to have to give them a lot of opportunities and repetitions to be ready just in case and take care of our guys that do have a lot of experience. We lost a couple of receivers, but I feel like our young receiving corps has worked hard, and I think they'll be able to step up and find a way to get in the rotation and make plays for us. Tight end is a concern for us. I think we've lost 3 really good tight ends last year, and Tyler Higbee, Tim Gorski, and even Devin Scott came back and did a good job for us blocking and making a few catches. So really, right now, Shaq Johnson is number 1 on the depth chart. He doesn't have any at all, if anything, much game experience, and I think he's obviously ready for the challenge and wants to get in there. He's done a great job on special teams for us, but that is a position that is of concern, and we've got to improve the guys we have, and we have to find a way to get those guys better, maybe even find a way to do a few different things with them where we don't ask them to do quite as much, and that will be something we have to investigate and research throughout spring is what are we going to be able to do with that position, and what do we need to do to improve.
Leadership is good with this club, or are you still looking at that?
Well, I think it's good to this point. We've talked about it a lot. I think we have some guys that are going to be seniors that are good players, and they've done a good job for us. Have they had to be as vocal? Probably not. So I think we've tried to reiterate that the seniors last year that did a great job of leading by example and by being vocal aren't here. So they're going to have to take on that role. And I think anytime you go into a season, the senior leadership is going to be key and paramount as far as what type of success you have. So we've relayed to them that some guys are going to have to step up and maybe get out of their comfort zone and take charge of the team, and that's going to be important that happens.
I had a chance to talk about Coach Williams. What does he bring to the O-line?
Well, I had a chance to coach with Coach Williams. I think he's a guy that has played the position at a high level. He was a 3-year starter at West Virginia back when I played against him. He was very productive as a player, and then as a coach, he's worked his way up the ranks and coached for a long time. Was at Florida Atlantic for, 6 or 8 years, and I was with him the 1 year, and I really liked what he did when I was there, and I think he's hungry. He's ready to get back in it. I think he is a guy that will have a good relationship with the players, will understand what they're going through. To this point, since he's been here, he's ready to go. He's into it. It will be some new terminology that he has to learn, but I think he's caught on very quickly, and I think up to this point it's been a great mesh between him and our offensive line.
Any other guys that might be out this spring won't be active?
Well, that's a good question. I was asking Kyle over that on the way over here. I think that we had quite a few surgeries after the season. Guys that were nicked up that we wanted to make sure that we got them healed and ready for the summer conditioning and ready for the season instead of waiting and seeing how they would handle the spring. So we will have a handful. I don't have the list right in front of me, but we will have a handful of guys that will be out this spring, guys that were productive for us. At least a couple guys on defense I know for sure that will be out that we're going to have to try to continue to get rehab. But I think that it's good. We got to get some other guys ready, add some more depth, get those guys healed for the summer conditioning, and that they're ready for the fall.
We've seen you since the schedule came out. What are your thoughts first on the schedule this year and overall the challenges?
Well, that wasn't my vote for the flip, but that's what happened. So we'll definitely deal with it. I think that we're always excited about the conference schedule. It's I think there's a lot of parity in the league every year, and each year 1 or 2 teams that weren't quite at the top emerge, and I think that'll happen again. So it's going to be a competitive conference schedule. So that's one thing we're going to have to be ready for and be prepared for. And obviously, I think each one of our teams are familiar with each other, but there are a few new coaches in the league that we have to get acquainted with and make sure that we do a lot of research and study on, which we've already started that. And as far as the non-conference, we're excited about that. I think we've got some good competition once again that will test us, and we can measure exactly where we're at and how far we've come or how far we have to come. And those games will always tell you exactly where you stand with that. So obviously the more challenging ones the better for us in the long term, even though it's sometimes a tough game to play. But I think it will definitely test us and measure us early on in the season, and we'll see exactly where we're at.
Anything else in the room?
Is Brian getting adjusted to the group things?
Yeah, I think Brian's been a great addition so far as well. I think he brings a lot of youth and energy to the position. Obviously, a lot of experience as a player. He's fresh out of it. So I think the quarterbacks have really molded extremely well, because he's kind of been in their shoes not only before, but even just recently. He's done a great job of recruiting. You know, our young coaches that we have are into it and understand that they not only have to coach on the field, we've got to be on top of the recruiting. And of course, with all the Twitter techniques and the ways of reaching these guys, they've done a great job with it, and they've spent a lot of time with it, and that's one area that we want to continue to do well in, is getting the best players in here. But I like the staff we have. I think you know, they've meshed well to this point. All of them like football. They're eager and they're willing, and hopefully we'll have a great year.
Anything on the phone?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, anything on the phone?
Good. How are you?
I was wondering if you could comment on your expectations for the three guys that transferred from Louisville, Keith, Nick, and Tyler, and maybe if you could go through each of those guys that we like about them and why you want to bring them on.
Right. Well, definitely on the defensive side, the two additions of the graduate transfers we have from Louisville, we're extremely excited about. And Keith Brown and Nick Dawson, I think, you know, the first thing you notice from our standpoint is when they walk into our room, those guys look the part. And definitely, you know, we have some guys that look that way, but not a whole lot. So they come into the room looking the part. They have experience, they've played, they have the size and the stature you want. And I think both of those guys, if we can keep them healthy and continue to get them to work hard, will be outstanding players for us and huge additions. So I'm excited about both of them. They've done great to this point, and we are extremely happy they're here. As far as the offensive side, we've got Tyler Ferguson. He's a guy that, you know, it's early to tell at this point, but he does have a strong live arm. He's a big, tall quarterback. He can make throws up the field. I think he's an eager learner. He's wanting to get out there and prove what he can do. And I think anytime we can add somebody with his experience, as far as he's been at some other programs, Penn State, Louisville, a junior college, that will add to the competition, I think he's definitely going to add to the competition and give it a fair shot to compete and win the job. And he's excited about it. He's worked hard to this point. But all three we're excited to have here, and hopefully will really help our team.
Jeff, is Keith Brown going to play inside or outside? Which round both?
Right. I think for us, he's going to start off playing in the inside. He's a big, strong, athletic linebacker who can run. I think he's got a good knack for the position. I think he wants a chance to prove himself and be a full-time player, and that's why he's here. But to this point, he's done everything we've asked. He's got a great attitude. He works hard. He's been a great addition. So we're very eager to see him on the field in live action and hopefully get him to the season healthy, where he's able to understand what we're doing and play fast. But I think he'll be an outstanding player for us.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.